Hey guys, this is my third video. I'm being consistent. I just came back from what's it called? King Buffet. And look, look what I got. So cute. Anyways, my husband actually bought it for me today. We always try our best to have date night. He's a busy hard worker, and honestly, I am grateful for who he is. Um, And the only reason I'm bringing him up is because I feel like I've been challenged so much from people of how was I able to forgive? And I think this question has been thrown at me from all ages, women, girls, girls that are not dating, girls that are dating, um, and I feel like nobody can prepare you for something as drastic as being left by somebody that loves you and that you didn't expect them to leave you because they love you. I feel like today's video is going to be about forgiving. Again, these might be the most videos. My ugly tongue. I know it's geographical tongue. Anyways, out of the topic, it might seem like a very conversation. Not because it's unnecessary, but because it's unnecessarily needed. I feel like not everybody is able to understand what it means to be in a mature love. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to judge anybody of the way that they conduct their life or their love life. But I feel like these are tools that I can help, or that someone that is searching about it or trying to help somebody else that's going through something would be able to explain to them what it means to actually forgive. Now, I have read something online and it pissed me off, but at the same time, I said, wow, many people really believe in this. But anyways, they said that love was only invented for poor people. And I was just like thrown away. I'm like, how can people actually believe that? But anyways, we are in a day and age where love has a lot of meanings, a lot. But the most amazing thing is that the love what I'm talking about, the love that I'm talking about, I think there's four different types of love in the Greek. I'm gonna talk about three, there's three that I know. I don't know about the fourth. I know there is Eros love, which is a more carnally lustful love. There is the Chronos. No, that's actually time. Oh my goodness. But anyways, I'm talking about the agape love or agape. It's a love that is given. It's like an unconditional love. And the reason why I'm talking about this type of love is because it seems that a lot of people have came out of or understood of the agape love. It seems that a lot of people forget that this is the reason why you are in marriage. I actually commented to a friend of mine that a lot of men are afraid of marriage because it's very sacrificial. A lot of men feel like they have to be given the woman everything on a silver platter. They are the breadwinners. They are the sole providers, the soldiers. You know what I mean? It seems nice and dandy, but in the world that we're in right now, wow, there's many women that are the sole provider, many women that are there being the bread makers, a lot of women out there just, stepping up to the plate, you know what I mean? But it just seems so watered down, the word love, and people have taken it so lightly that they could basically say, oh, I love pizza. Even though I love I love pizza, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is that um, for you to know what love is, if you know what love is, the real virtue of forgiveness enters to your life when you know what love really stands for. Now, I tell many people that marriage isn't just for a license. It's not for everybody to know your business. I don't need to tell people what I'm doing. I don't need a government paper that says that I'm united with this person. I totally agree. Because guess what? That wasn't the intention of marriage. The intention of marriage was you to make a full commitment to a person that you can scream it out into north, east, south, and west. You could see, you could make a friggin' how you say it, Snow White, ambient. If you need the deers and the woodpeckers to be your witnesses, then so be it. To be fully committed to a person, that's what marriage is. So when I tell people that when I got married and we went through a devastating breakup and a separation that lasted quite a bit, I tell them with the deepest conviction, and I tell them I have no regret or remorse, or I could say I got angry. In that time, yes, I was sad. I was deeply in distress. Oh my goodness, my finances. How can I explain to you? I went through this major debt. I went through this. Oh my God, especially when you revolve your life around this one person that you're like, okay, half and half. You work, I work, and you have this routine going on, and that becomes deadly because routine does kill, it does destroy. So that's the reason why I said to you, my husband and I always have made it something natural to just go for a drive, have the romance that we had before as couples, but mostly because we needed to know how to forgive each other. And he, with the utmost respect that he has for me and the humbleness that he tells me, how can you be with a person like me? And I laugh and tell him that just like how he has mistakes, so do I. The only difference is that how much importance we allow these things to define our relationship. Now, he can love white Wonder Bread, and I'm not supposed to have bread, but he has that temptation in the home, and I have to forgive him for that because honestly, he knows that that's really bad for me. But I can't tell him what not to do. See, this problem is that many women believe that the moment that they are married, they are now the mother. No, that was his mother's job. Now, if she wasn't raised right, that was something that you should have tried to speak before the marriage. Now, I know many girls or guys out there are already living together, and they're like, yeah, he's for me. We're together. We don't need to be married. Common law, whatever you could say it. Awesome. You guys are not together. But you get to realize that the moment that you are together, you're going to have to go through conflicts together. You're going to have to go through solutions together. You're going to finally find out what you're made of. Now, when I tell you this is not about being intolerant or being too tolerant or being passive aggressive, what I'm saying is that you are going to find out that the biggest lesson in life, the biggest way to salvage your heart, and perhaps to salvage a marriage or a relationship, is through forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is something, if I were to give you 3 steps of what forgiveness looks like, number 1, it would be to love the person unconditionally. You cannot ask them to be more than what they already have shown you to be. You can't expect them to change when they are not the people. You can't. That's the problem. I feel like, as especially like women, we like to have everything already pre-organized. We know what's going on. We have the conflict, the solution, this, and we already know how to fix things. Now, the difference between men and women is that Men are more physically. It's just do it. How does a man know that a woman forgives? Because she's now given herself to a point that she will serve him, she will give him attention, give him affection, and there's no words needed. A woman needs to hear the apology. Now, it sounds funny because if you were to tell a man, apologize, he won't do it. Let's be realistic. Rebellion comes up when you tell somebody to do something, and I think we all know, because we're all children of somebody, and you're somebody's child. And when your mama told you do it, you're the first person to say, hell no, or she said, don't do that, and it's the first thing you do. Now, I'm not saying that men are like children. What I'm saying is that there is a nature in a man that for him to understand what forgiveness is through the women's actions. And for the women to understand the man is through his words and his actions. We are a people that want to hear it, to see it, to know it. Men are more passive in that area, or you could say more easygoing in that area. Not all of them, but I mean, this is the things I've experienced with my own husband. That's number one, to love unconditionally, no matter where he's come from, no matter where he has done, what he said, to love unconditionally. Now, number two, don't be the fuel to the fire. Now, when I say don't be the fuel to the fire, what I'm saying is that if you know there was something wrong and that what happened was not okay, you cannot bring the past and throw it in there, saying, oh, but you did this to me last year, or you did this to me this day, or you said this yesterday. You can't add more fuel to the fire. Now, when you forgive somebody, you have to be a person that's able to communicate, be able to bring everything as in peace. You're a peacemaker in that moment. Now, I'm not saying it has to happen 100% that same day, because that's called manipulation. When you want something done now and you say, I don't want, that's manipulation. And that won't go so far, especially if your husband or your man ain't those people that like to be thrown around like a toy. I say this with the most compassion I can say it to, because I've seen it happen where girls or women, they're like, I need to see it now. If he did a mistake, he needs to know it now. It's just, you need to give the man time, and you need to let him or reassure him that this is something that we need to speak about when he is ready to speak about it. And if you tell me, but he's a person that's never ready to speak about it, then he shouldn't be in a relationship. That shows you already that he's not ready, because he hasn't. If you go back to the first video that I made, or the second video that I made, you're supposed to love yourself first. And if he can't be in tune to who he really is, he won't be able to give that to you. And you'll be lying to yourself for all this time saying, oh, but he's going to learn, or he's going to eventually understand. No. Like, that's something that he has to go through. You know what I mean? And number three. So number one is to forgive is to love yourself. Number two is to not bring more fuel to the fire. And number three, to forget about it. It sounds so like, like cringe and so like, I can't, how can I forgive? How can I forget something happened? But honey, he stole $1,000 from my bank account. How can I forget that? Now, my question is, are you ready to salvage your relationship, or are you ready to sabotage your relationship? Because the thing is that if you know, because you know who you're with, you know when they said that you know what line you lay with. You know what I mean? If you know who you're with and you know that that person is just wrong, you shouldn't be with them. It's just, It seems hard to even tell you this. It's how can you be with somebody that you don't trust? Or how can you be with somebody that you don't have hopes or high hopes for them to change? How can you be with somebody that just drags you down and sees you wither away? Now, if I were to tell you right now what my own experience in my own marriage, many people would tell me that I'm crazy. Why am I still with the person that he's with? But then he could tell you the same thing. Or his friends or his family would be like, "Oh, like how can you be with that woman?" Because we come from different backgrounds, different cultures, and when we're trying to merge in, what becomes irrational for him becomes so rational for me. I come from a parents that are very, I guess, say perfectionist. Like you do things well. If you don't do them well, why do them? You know what I mean? And he comes from parents that it's okay. You don't worry about it, you know. And I come from a place where you pay your bills on time. If you don't, then you shouldn't even be eating. Bills come first, debt come first. And he comes from a place where it's just like, chill out, it's fine. These things, getting together was so hard, and what I'm telling you is that if that person doesn't give you 100%, you don't give 100%. What makes you think that that relationship will be able to continue? You know, so if you know that you're a person that is giving their all to you, and that you have given their all to them, then there is hope that this person can change through the forgiveness. That's because you love them unconditionally. That's because you love yourself unconditionally. That's because you don't bring more fuel to the fire. That's because you won't bring up the past and you will forget that happened. Now, I'm not telling you to be pretending that you're stupid. You know what I mean? What I'm telling you is that if you really need things to work out, you can't be bringing the past. You can't. That's just like basically bringing bad seeds in a fertile ground. It's not gonna give any fruit. So forgiveness is just, it's so big, and I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it because I'm way over my time. So I'll continue this on as in a part two. I don't know if I should just do it right now, but anyways, I want to get more into this because forgiveness is it's a huge step because it's like a make or break, and learning to forgive really it's taken years, and I haven't even perfected it. My husband knows that I try my best. He tries his best in the little knowledge that he knows how to do it and how I know how to do it. And well, anyways, thank you for hearing me out. Hope to see you again next time.